A sentence that you hear most days from most organizations is that you have to offer splendid customer service in order to succeed in the future. But the funny thing is that the future is actually much more about activating than servicing. And I'll give you an example of that. If my husband, and he's like this very, very well-trained, very healthy guy, if I ask my husband, do you want a bag of wine gummy bears? He'll say that, no, that's not a very good decision for me. If I eat an entire bag of gummy bears, then I'll be burping on the sofa for an hour afterwards. But the funny thing is that if I put a bag of gummy bears in his car, then he'll eat everything all through the bag, because when he's in the car, he's not making good enlightened decisions in his life. He is on autopilot, and that goes for most of us. If we're just being serviced, if we're not thinking about it, then we don't make healthy, sustainable choices. And we need healthy, sustainable choices in the future. We need to be engaged and active. And you can actually see, according to research and science, that when people are engaged and active in their own lives, if they feel that they are participating, if they are students or they are senior citizens or they are customers or they are handicapped or they are people who have gone to hospitals and now just don't lie around in the hospital beds anymore but get engaged and active in their own life, they actually become much more happier for it. I can quote one of our fellow futurists, a woman, an American called Jane McGonigal, and you can yourself go to TED.com and see her fantastic speech where she's talking about what happens when people are playing computer games. And what people are going through when they are playing computer games are these 4 basic emotions. She says that they feel urgent optimism, they feel social fabric, they feel blissful productivity, and they feel epic meaning. And that all in all turns these people from gamers into being super empowered, hopeful individuals. Because what happens when you're playing a computer game is that you're not on autopilot. You are in a completely different universe where you feel like you are actively participating. So her whole research is based on how can you take the role playing and the computer game story and turn it into something much more meaningful and much more attached to reality. So her science is very much interesting to follow in the future. So of course you can do good service in the future and you can survive by doing good future, but service will be more and more like wearing a good bra. And all us girls, we know that a good bra is something that lifts and supports you in all the right places, but you do not want to see it in your everyday life. It should be invisible. If you want to stand out in the future, you need to activate your audience. You need to listen to them. You need to engage with them. You need to challenge and frustrate each other, because we need a world, we need a future where the majority is making enlightened, active decisions in your own life, and your organization, your company will be much better off in the future if you don't just service but activate your audience.